Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Rest of every day's video, the beer's courtesy of Keith. Thanks so much, Keith. I really appreciate it. He's at 93 Lumber, spelled out, and I will at him in the description box below so you guys can make sure you check out his channel. It's Tuesday, and on Tuesdays I try to test my palate, drink something outside the norm, a mystery beer, maybe a spirit or a coffee. And this time I'm actually doing a free will beer, and this is Mutator Doppelbock Lager. I love Doppelbocks. I just don't drink them very often for no good reason. So I'm really excited about this one. And Free Will's just been crushing it. It's a collaboration. I forgot about this. With Brewery Novalis. I might be mispronouncing it. It's like Nova Lis. And they're out of Syracuse, New York, which I grew up 45 minutes from Syracuse. My dad went to Syracuse University, so definitely love Syracuse. So that's always rad to see. And this is 7.1% ABV. Nothing written on the bottom. Great artwork as always. I love Free Will's artwork. They do just, it's just great. Proper glassware. This is a Free Will glass. That was also courtesy of Keith. Man, Keith is just a good guy. Imagine like watching my videos and I'm like talking about how awesome Keith is, and then you don't go check out Keith. That's weird, right? That'd be a weird thing. So make sure you check him out. He's great. He's also just, above all else, just a great human. He's just a great guy. He's just a great person. All right, so it looks kind of like a dark, like a black tea. It's like a very light brown kind of color. Apple cider vinegar, a little darker than that. But yeah, looks like what I think it does, like caramelized malt water, right? That's like what it looks like. The head is dark khaki to me. Dark khaki. Let's get into the aroma. So you do get some of that caramelized sugar, but then like a molasses, not savory. It's not full on savory, but like this like molasses approaching, like if savory's over here, like and nothing savory at all is over here, you're like starting the journey, kind of a thing. Brings a little bit of balance to the sweetness. The illusion of baking spices. You know what it kind of smells like too? Like it doesn't smell straight dates. I don't think I've ever done this before, but like if you soaked dates, which is a thing, like if you want to like blend them up, you soften them up that way. But it kind of smells like what I would think if you smelled the water after soaking dates. Like it's a hint of dates, kind of a thing. It's weird. I think this is the best way to describe it. It's not like there's a faint smell of dates. It's that the dates are there, but the potency isn't particularly high, which seems like two different things to me as I smell this, but maybe that sounds like the same thing. I don't know. That was a very specific, and I don't think ever before used, descriptor. Wow. A little bit of an earthy thing. And there's like a pop of brightness too. There's a lot going on in a good way, and it smells like I want the style to smell, but then there's like some other cool things going on, and those things work, which is nice. So yeah, see about the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Keith. Seriously, guys, make sure you check him out. Yeah, I can mess around with this. Wow, that's nice. I don't know which way is the best. I want to face it this way because of the cool picture. You got like the little demon devil guy, but then this has a little slit so you can kind of see the beer better. For me, it follows the aroma quite a bit. I get the caramel, very light date thing. It is cut through it with this like molasses, and again, not savory, but like that's the best word I can think of is like on the journey to savory. So it cuts through some of the sweetness. That's the earthy thing does as well. I said it smelled like the illusion of baking spices because some of the things that I was smelling would pair so nicely with baking spices. But I tell you what, and I don't remember what beer it was, but Keith and I, we did it together, and he pulled ginger. This, I taste like a little ginger. I know it doesn't have, or at least it doesn't say it has ginger in it, but like, yeah, it's not full on clove or cinnamony, but there's a little, although maybe a little clove, but it's like a little gingery peppery that way, which I really like. it has some oomph to it for 7.1, but I don't like taste any alcohol, which I also appreciate. Man, I like that smell a lot. And usually a beer with this big of a lager specifically with this big of flavor, I don't taste any of the fermentation, and I get like a little bit of that beeriness from the what I've said this before. I got this from Matt from Matt's Beer Reviews, like kombucha. Like when you taste that, you can really taste the fermentation. Like you get a little bit of that through it all, but it just brings a nice beery element to these things that I'm describing that aren't, don't sound like beer, right? Like they don't sound like beer. And that makes it taste a little bit beery, like the macro, Pilsner kind of, has that taste to it. This is elevated. Don't worry. Don't get offended, anyone. But that's the thing I'm talking about. And yeah, you do get a little bit of that, which I appreciate. So it brings it back to the beer realm. This is just super tasty. And I've said this before in some free will videos, and I've had a decent amount at this point. A lot of different styles, and they're doing them well. And I really think that's a mark of a great brewery. If a brewery can hit a home run with any beer, and it's like upper echelon, like that's awesome, right? But man, a brewery that can do that, somewhere between like the beer is at the very least it's good to like upper echelon, and that's where all the free will beers have been. Most of them, the higher level. I can't say enough nice things about how good their beers are, and the fact that they do a variety so well it's just really impressive to me. But that's less beer review of this beer, more just a love letter to the brewery. But yeah, this is super tasty, so well done on that, guys. I really appreciate that. It delivered. I really appreciate you, Keith, for sending the beer and the glass. Really appreciate you guys for watching. Have you ever had this beer before? Have you had this style lately? You're just drinking something tasty you want to tell me about? You had a bad day at work and you just want to vent? Whatever. Comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untappd. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both of those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.